Hello and welcome to tutorial Z, or Z if you like, Zanily Zoological. Can you believe we've made it to the last tutorial of these 26 A to Z tutorials about language and vocabulary? I hope you've enjoyed the bits of poetry and writing in between. I'm really grateful that you've joined me, especially if you've been through all of them with me. Thank you for being so loyal. I'll thank you again at the end. Mainly animal stuff in this one, although there's a couple of phobias thrown in towards the end, and our last writing topics, and then that'll be that. Some of these are quite tricky, these animal adjectives. Some are well known, like feline and canine, but some are lesser known, like aquiline for eagles, arachnoid for spiders, asinine for ass, bovine for cow, we've come across that one before, canine for dog, equine for horse, feline for cat, leonine for lion, lupine for wolf. The most common are arachnoid. You can say a remark that you think is stupid. What an asinine remark. On the side of packets of gelatine, there's sometimes the note gelatine of bovine origin. Leonine often used for someone's hair if it's wild, like a lion's mane. And there's many others of these iron words, but this is just some of them. Here's a couple more. Simian, in the style of an ape. I'm never sure how to say this. Piscine, in the style of a fish, in the manner of a fish. Porcine, in the manner of a pig. You have such porcine table manners. Serpentine, in the manner of a snake. Lesser known, taurine, in the manner of a bull. Ursine, in the manner of a bear. Vulpine, in the manner of a fox. I don't think I've ever used these last four myself, but good to know. Quick little animal quiz, just for the fun of it. Which is a marsupial? Kangaroo, camel, or panda? Of course, the answer is a kangaroo. Which does not have a shell? Snail has a shell, turtle has a shell, octopus has no shell. Which has whiskers? I wanted to say walrus, but it's surely a seal that has whiskers. A walrus has tusks like an elephant. Which does not sting? A wasp does, a bee does, but a poor innocent little ladybird does not sting. Which does not bite? Fleas bite, mosquitoes bite, but a poor old butterfly does not bite. Which has a beautiful tail? Sparrow, pigeon. No, it's a peacock, has a beautiful tail. Which has the most legs? You might want to say spider, you might want to say scorpion, but it's surely a centipede. No one can beat that number of legs. Which is not extinct? A dodo is extinct, dinosaur is extinct, a pterodactyl is extinct, but a buffalo is not, and hope buffaloes remain not extinct. Which creature is not mythical? Dragon is mythical, unicorn is mythical, a chameleon is not mythical. And there's a marsupial. Change into the feminine form. So stallion is the male, the feminine is a mare. The fox is the male, the female is the vixen. A drake is the male, a duck is the female. A gander is the male, a goose is the female. Dog is a male, bitch is the female. Lion, lioness. Tiger, tigress. Cock, hen. And a tom, I had to go and look this up. Female is a queen. cat. Now we're changing to diminutives, or the young form. Some are easy, like dogs or puppies. Young sheep, lambs. Young cows, calves. Young pigs, piglets. Young horses, cows is calves, pigs is piglets, horses is foals, cats is kittens, goats, kids. And lions, cubs. Puppies, lambs, calves, piglets, foals, kittens, kids, and cubs. And more of these diminutives now. A bear, once again, is a cub. A butterfly is a larva. A duck is surely a duckling. An elephant, a calf. A frog, a tadpole. We already had the goat is a kid. We already had the horse is a foal. A kangaroo, a joey. A lion is a cub. A sheep is a lamb. And a whale is a calf. I find these quite difficult. So we've had 2 pages of diminutives, and now we've had, where do these animals live? Pigs live in a sty, dogs in a kennel, bees in a hive, or if you like, you could say an apiary. Not an aviary, that's birds. Lions in a den, horses in a stable, and rabbits in a warren. Yes, that's wild rabbits live in a warren. Domestic rabbits would live in a hutch. And apparently also they could live in a run. So I think we're done with all our animal stuff. Oh, we got one more. We got noises made by animals. So we've got cats meow, horses neigh, they might also snort, lions of course roar, mice squeak, sheep bleat, elephants trumpet, pigs grunt, wolves howl, and owls hoot. What a hoot. And now we've finished with our animals. Last time with proverbs. All's well that what? All's well that ends well. In other words, as long as in the end things will work out. First come first served. If you're the first people there, you'll be given attention first. Once bitten, twice shy. Something bad happens to you, next time you'll be doubly careful. Still waters run deep. You can use that of a person who's quiet, implying that Under that quiet exterior, there's something deep. Is that supposed to be a picture for still waters run deep? And then phobias. Fear of closed-in spaces, claustrophobia. Fear of open spaces, from the Greek for a marketplace, agoraphobia. Fear of spiders, arachnophobia. Fear of water, easy if you know your prefixes, hydrophobia. Fear of animals, use the prefix for animals, which is zoo, zoophobia. Fear of foreigners, xenophobia. In Greek, xenos is a guest or a stranger. Fear of heights, acrophobia. Fear of flying, use your prefixes, aerophobia. Fear of fire, pyrophobia. Fear of light, photophobia. Or from the Greek for the sun, heliophobia. Fear of death, from thanatos for death, thanatophobia. Thanatophobia. Correct the sentences. Meeting the celebrity, questions would be asked. These are misrelated participles, or many of them are. This sounds like questions would be meeting the celebrity. So we've got to make it clear who's meeting the celebrity. Let's make it we. We would ask questions. How's that? We would ask questions. To avoid being bored, television was watched. Again, that sounds like television got bored or didn't get bored. So let's say, to avoid being bored, we watched television. Not television. Diving into the pool, the water was freezing. Sounds like the water was diving into the pool. So we have to make it we found that, we noticed that, we found that the water was freezing. Walking down the street, this one's we've done before. Banana peel made me slipped. Let's make it I was tripped. I slipped on a banana peel. I think we've done this one too. Hopping from one foot to the other. We saw the bus. I saw the bus come into view. Explaining her problems to the principal. He listened carefully, but I mean, she was the one doing the explaining, so we have to say she noticed that, or she saw that. She saw that he was listening carefully. Explaining her problems, she saw that he was listening carefully. There, we've done those. What's the difference between compliment and compliment? Well, to pay someone a compliment is say something nice about them. You can say that yellow on your cushions really complements the color of the wallpaper. It goes with it. Which one is ice cream and chocolate sauce after your meal is a dessert? Don't get mixed up with desert, the Sahara Desert, a place full of sand and dryness. Which of these two means before? He was formerly known as Mr. Smith, but now he's known as something else. And this is the opposite of informal. He greeted us formally by saying, "Good morning, Mr. So-and-so." Which one is what you do with your ears? The one that's got the E-A-R. I can't hear you, but please sit over here, H-E-R-E. Which one is someone who's under 21 or under 18, a minor? But this, of course, is someone who goes down a mine to mine for gold or coal. Which one is breath and which one is breathe? That one is breath, this one is breathe. If that one's moral, then what's this one? Morale, meaning his spirit. We couldn't break his morale. This one, she passed us by, and this is the past, not the present or the future. And this is, I have a personal story to tell, but this is the personnel, the staff who work at a certain place are the personnel. And we're pretty much done. We've just got our final thoughts on writing. Refine your ideas and present them clearly and effectively. Focus on clarity, clearness, coherence, putting all together, and presentation to transform your draft into a document that resonates with your audience. Last time, writing topics: the ethical implications of keeping animals in zoos, animal behavior and communication. The population explosion leads to deforestation, and thus it snatches the habitat of the animals as well. The innocence of young animals. Should marine animals, surely we don't need to say ocean and marine, should marine animals be kept in captivity? Or this picture, no animals, oh, there's birds in this picture. One more time, the ethical implications of keeping animals in zoos. Animal behavior, let's spell it American for a bit. Animal behavior and communication. The population explosion leads to deforestation, and thus it snatches the habitat of the animals as well. The innocence of young animals. Should marine animals be kept in captivity? Or the picture. Last time, vocabulary quiz. I said the answer. A statement that seems contradictory but may be true. A paradox, that's so paradoxical. Something that's expressed briefly and clearly. It's so succinct. Your answer is excellent because it's so succinct. It's so short and sweet. Great confusion or disorder, turmoil. And clear, bright, or full of life. I think they wanted, maybe they wanted us to say vivid. I was going to say vivacious or full of life, but clear and bright is vivid. Just for the hell of it, I'll put vivacious as well for the full of life part. But I think I intended us to say vivid. That was our last vocabulary quiz. And can you believe that brings us to the end? If you've been with me all the way from tutorial A, I really value your staying power. Thank you so much for being with me. It's been lovely. I look forward to seeing you in another project soon. I wish you all the best. And until the next project, whatever it may be, I wish you all the best and goodbye.